Now we will discuss about unit testing in the Android application. So while you are performing the unit testing, first of all you need to check the dependency, or you need to include this particular line test implementation JUnit and the latest version of the JUnit inside the Gradle file. So after that you need to sync again, then only this line will be getting installed. Next step is just create your test case for the test file and then run the test. These are all the simple tests which is going to be used in the Android unit testing. And one more thing, Android unit testing, no need of emulator or real-time device. You can write the testing in Java program and you can execute inside the IDE itself. There is no need of real-time tool or emulator. So we'll see the demonstration. Open the Android Studio. Actually our aim is to create one calculator application. It consists of simple calculator application only for operation: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. After that we'll write the testing unit testing code for each and every method, and we'll verify whether it is working correctly or not. So select empty project and give the name for the application. So I'm giving unit test demo. So this is the expected output. I am going to expected user interface design which I am going to create now. So I am changing this layout to relative layout, so it will be easy for us to create the application. I am giving the title for this one as calculator, displaying it in center horizontal true, and giving the margin from top as 10 dB. So it will be displayed from 10 dB from the margin, top margin. Same way I am creating next text view, getting the input one. So from margin I am giving 50 dB. Instead of center I am giving margin left. So from margin left I am giving 50 dB again. The same way second input 2. So from top I am keeping it in 100 dB. So I want to display the answer also. So again two more text view I am creating. One is so for this alone I am giving 100 dB width. I keep this in 200. 150 is enough, and from so I'm going to create edit text to get the input from the user. Width give 100 dB and height wrap content. So create the ID, input 01. So keep that margin top. Just give 40 dB, then only it will be right position. And margin left, give 100 dB. Or else 150, it will be good. And same way create another one edit text to get the second input from the user. And then now add buttons. So give standard size for all the buttons. Give 100 as width and 50 as height, and create the ID. And keep the text addition. So for add, this button is used, and create the next button for subtraction. Okay. In the same way, create the two more button, one for multiplication and another one is for division. That's all for our creation. Just run this user interface how and see how it has been looking in that one in the emulator. So while it is starting the emulator, we'll create the activity file. So first create the object for the button, text view and edit text. First we will create, so there are two edit text we are using, input 1 and 2 I am giving. Same way one text view we are using, and four buttons we are going to use. So create button object for four buttons. When any header file is not getting added automatically, just click on that red thing and press Alt Enter. The respective header file will be getting imported. Now link the user interface into your Java file. So first the input is from edit text. So find by id r dot id dot, so we have already given input 0 1. The same way for input 2, edit text, find view by id r dot id dot input 2, and one output file we are having, output is equal to, it is text view. So find view by id r dot id dot, what is the id name we have given? We have not given the id, so just create the id for this one, output. So now we can include that id here. Yes, got it. And now we are having 4 buttons. So button 1 is equal to button find view by id r dot id dot button add, and likewise we have to create the create for the follow all the other buttons also. This is for subtraction. And add the button with respect to the multiplication, and finally for division. Okay, now I am going to create another one class file, Java class file. In this file I am going to write all the methods. So I am giving this file name as call methods. So inside this method, what are all the parameters we need to create, that we will create here. So I am going to use one string, integer value string. Also I am going to send the string value output. So first I am creating one method. So inside the method I am going to just add two variables. So already we are getting it as a string, so we need to convert it into integer. So integer dot parse int of what is the string a, plus integer dot parse int of b. So now we have performed the addition. After performing the addition, I just want to convert again it into string. So string dot value of integer, what is the integer? result is the integer. So now the string, so now we can return this value, output return. So what is this method is actually we are getting two values in a string format, and we are adding the two strings we are converting that string into integer, and then we are performing the addition operation, and then we are returning it here. So we can call this method by inside this particular class. Okay, we can set our on click listener. We will write the code inside this one. So while clicking what we have to do, that will be written here. Right. So when I'm pressing this button 1 for addition operation, what it will be doing when this on click listener will continuously monitoring, when I'm getting the on click event, it will execute, it will call this particular line. So here what we are doing, the output dot set text. So for this particular text view, we are giving the output, and what we are giving, we are calling the call method dot add method. So here inside this call method class we are having one method called add. It has and two strings we are for sending from here. First one is input 1 and another one is input 2. What is actually input 1 and 2 is these two edit text values. So input 1 and input 2. So that value has been sent as a string value to this method. Here inside this we are converting it into integer, and then we are performing the addition operation. So we are getting some error. So we need to close this method. Now it is clear. Right. For addition operation alone we have given the code. So this already this is existing, so now I am compiling again and I am executing this file, and we will check whether this addition operation is performing correctly or not. Yes, this is the first input I am giving as 5, and second output I am giving as 3, and I am performing the addition operation. Now we are getting the output as 8. So now this addition operation is working perfectly. So the same way we have to create the operations methods for subtraction, multiplication, division. So I'm just copying and pasting, and I'm changing it into subtraction. Instead of addition we will perform the subtraction, and for multiplication I'm changing this, and also for division. Again I'm creating the button 2 on click listener. For button 2, instead of addition I am calling subtraction, and for button 3, instead of here we have to give multiplication, and finally we have division. So instead of 3, 4. So now our simple calculator is ready for all the operations. Just verify it in output. Yes, I am giving 2 and 5 as input. First I am checking for addition, it is working perfectly, and for subtraction it is giving -3, and for multiplication it is 10, and so we hear this button text we failed to change, so we'll change it again and we'll execute it. And this one is multiplication and this one is division. We'll execute again. Now it is perfect. So I'm giving 10 and 9. I'm performing addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Everything is working correctly. So now our aim is to create the testing, unit testing. So actually unit testing we can perform in this IDE itself. So here you are seeing, so if you see in the project structure you will have 3 folders under the Java. One inside this first folder you will have all your activity and your core program, and followed by you are having the Android test. This is used for performing instrumentation testing and user interface testing, and this unit test folder is used for performing the test. Which method, if you want to perform the unit testing, just click on this method and press Ctrl Shift T. So it will ask for create new test, and here it will list out what are all the relative methods available for the particular file to create the testing, and here you check unit test 4 and click OK. So it will ask for where to create this one, either in Android test or in test folder. This is a unit testing, this must be performed inside this test folder only. Click OK, you will have this folder. So it is. So you see, so here we have a test file. So inside this method you are having called test annotation. So that means you are going to write the testing code for this addition, whether it is performing correctly or not. So we have to create these string variables. I am creating string a is equal to 1, b is equal to 5, just for testing purpose. Expected output, what is the expected output? If you add these two we will get 6, and one more received. I am creating one more key received. That means, so from the addition method whether we are getting the correct output or not. For that purpose we are having this one. And now create one variable for call method. Cm is equal to new, and then assign the receiver is equal to cm dot add, and send two strings a comma b, and asset equal is the method is used for checking whether the expected output and received output is true or not. So it will verify whether we are getting the correct output for these given inputs from the method. So now, okay, we'll check it now. So for testing, just click on this button, run add method. It will perform the testing, and if the testing is clear, then you will get the test getting passed. So instead I want to verify it for failure test. I am giving addition as 1 by 4, 1 comma 4, and expected output I am giving as 6. So just to show what will happen if the test is failing, I am giving the wrong answer. So once again, if you are expecting, the test will be getting failed. Why? Because the addition operation is sending the value as 5, because we are giving the input as 1 and 4. The addition is 5, received is 5, the expected output is 6, so there is a mismatch, so the test get failed. Okay, so we'll change it again. The same way for subtraction, the same thing we can use. Instead of addition, give subtraction, and the expected value is -4. Now we'll give the testing for this one. Yes, the test get passed. And the same thing for multiplication also we can verify. Instead of addition, we'll give multiplication. The value is 5. Verify the test. Yes, this also getting cleared. And for division, it will give you 0 only. So instead of addition, give division. Now run the test. Yes, all the tests getting passed. So this is the unit testing, which requires no additional real-time device or emulator. So run call method test. It will verify all the pass tests. So we have given 4 test cases for each method, and how many passed, that is given here. So instead of, we can verify it with a little some. So instead of 5, I have given 9 for multiplication. If I now again, if you run this testing, what will happen, we'll see. So you can see the result here. See, 1 test failed and 3 passed. So what all the addition is cleared, division is cleared, multiplication is failed, and subtraction is failed. So we know we have given wrong information, wrong value here, so we are getting wrong values. So this is about creating unit testing, how to perform the unit testing for any given application. Thank you.